So a couple weeks ago, I had a project come onto my table. I received a phone call to shoot this, fashion-inspired photo shoot for a client. And when they sent me the mood board and then they sent me everything that they were looking for to do for this project, I'm not gonna lie, on one end, I was like very excited for the project. I was like really excited about it. But on the other end too, I was like a little bit held back on the project. And the reason why I was a little bit held back was because it was this South Asian inspired fashion shoot, right? The client was Sri Lankan, and then she wanted to do some shoot with saris and traditional Sri Lankan clothes. And I was looking at it and I was like, I don't know if I would be able to do as much justice to it as possible, because like with cultural and traditional stuff, as if you don't have like some knowledge about the culture, or if you don't know how like things work in that environment, sometimes if you don't take it, you can really butcher it. So I was a little bit held back about it because I was like, I don't know if I will be able to do it, because like most of the clients that I work with, I can say are pretty much like Black people, and then most of the fine art photography stuff that I do it with like African inspired stuff, because I am African. So most of my traditional stuff, like you can see that, oh, this guy is African. Trying to do a shoot, like a big shoot like that, which was like a South Asian inspired stuff, Sri Lankan environment, I was like, this is gonna be a hard one. I nearly told the client that, okay, I think they should find someone else. But at the same time too, I took it as, okay, this would probably be a very good environment to try out new things. And also, I also looked at it from the perspective of like a businessman, where it was like, if I'm able to really do this and make it work, I'll be able to also use it to tap into the South Asian demographic. So I really did a lot of research. I went to Pinterest. I looked at how some South Asian photographers, how they photograph these pictures, how they do the photograph sari, the kind of lighting, how they approach these photos and everything. So in the process and in about starting the shoot, I was like, okay, cool. Looking at how the traditional clothes are, like looking at how sari is like a combination of like different cloths, sometimes like different colors. So I was like, okay, cool. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine different backdrops, right, to kind of match it. I was like, okay, cool. I'm also going to combine different backdrops. I remember I used 3 different backdrops in the photo shoot. I combined 2 backdrops together at the back, and I placed another backdrop on the floor because I wanted to, pretty much kind of like go with the same vibe. I was trying to make it look more, try to get it as close to what I've seen on Pinterest as much as possible, because I didn't want it to be like one backdrop, one color and everything. I was like, okay, cool. She's wearing all these clothes, different fabrics, put together, layered together. So I was like, okay, cool. Then the backdrops that I'm going to use, I'm going to layer backdrops together so that it will kind of like go with it. And I also wanted to make sure that the colors that I was using would also match the outfit, or it will complement it as much as possible. So on the day of the shoot, we got on set, and then one thing that was really lucky and one thing that really helped was the client came with her mom. So her mom, had a lot of knowledge about how to, present yourself, how to stand, how to fold the clothes, the right way to stand. So I think she pretty much ended up being the creative director. Like, she was like the right person to be there to correct us, to make sure that we did not do anything wrong, or we did not do anything that may, at the end of the day, come off as maybe disrespectful or something like that, right? So she was able to show us even how hand placement, where to properly place your hand and everything. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit boxed in some way because of the way the attire was and everything, but I was a little bit boxed in because, the old me would want to like try new things. I'm like, okay, let's move here, let's move that, let's do this. But at the end of the day too, because we were limited, and then the close to the sari, they were like heavy, and then it's folded. So, and every small thing, it can come, like it can mess up the cloth and everything. So it really kind of like bust us in. We did 3 outfits for this shoot. There was like 3 different outfits. I think she did one that was like green and a purple. She did another one, and then the last outfit was one thing that I really love. She was wearing like this green, I think like lime lemon dress, and oh, that attire was like really, really heavy. So we did that the final piece, we did that. I still moved some of the backdrops around with my lighting setup. I think I went for like a 3 lighting setup. Yeah, I had my key light and my fill light both at one end, and I think I had my hair light. I think I didn't use a hairlight. I will check, but I think I remember using a hairlight, but I will double check to see if I didn't use. So I had like my key light and then my fill light on camera right. And then what do you call it? I have a hairlight on the client. We were a little bit busting. We tried different poses. We tried different movements. We tried like different stuff. And at the end of it, I'm not going to lie, the images that came out, some of the works that we were able to create with them, they were like absolutely beautiful. It was just fantastic. It was just amazing being able to create these stunning images that I sent it to the clients. They looked at the images, they just loved everything about it. Like I looked at the pictures, I edited. I remember when I was editing, I had some photos that I use as inspiration, where it's like, okay, I want to get them as close to it as possible. Because one thing that I really liked about the shoot was that I wanted to add my own thing to it, but at the same time, I needed to make sure that I didn't go overboard or I didn't do anything that may come off a little bit disrespectful. This was probably one of the reasons why I was also very scared, because like I have my signature look. I have my signature look on how I present my work. I have my signature look on how my works looks like. And in most of my work, like, you can see that, oh, this guy has like that African look on his work. So I was a little bit stepped back. Well, okay, how am I going to balance that African look to a South Asian look, right? But so when I was editing the photos, when I was approaching editing and everything, I was like, okay, I just sat down with myself and I was like, wait, at the end of the day, the clients came to me because they've seen the kind of works that I create. So that means they don't expect me to provide something different for them, right? Even if I bring it closer to what they want, closer to the South Asian picture styles, South Asian, everything that South Asian people do, I still need to be able to have that KP stamp on it, that my signature, for them to be able to, okay, look, this is what I expected from them. Because sometimes I think we can get so scared of what a project is or how a project is presented that if we don't take care, we may end up giving the client something completely different. So I had this epiphany and I was like, okay, cool. With the editing style and everything, I need to make sure that you can still see these images and tell, okay, cool, KP took these pictures. But at the same time, too, it's not a picture where it's like, it's a whole completely different thing where it's like, okay, you can't even tell whether I took it. I wanted to imprint my signature on it whilst also doing justice to the South Asian community, right? So I did the editing. I tried out different stuff, different colors. Even with the editing, I had my coloring wheel there where it's like I made sure that, you know, everything was complementing. And at the end of the day, the images, I'm even showing you guys on the screen, the images that we were able to create, the amount of work that came out from these images, I'm not going to lie, it was just absolutely beautiful. We were able to create some of the most amazing, some of the most beautiful pictures. And it's like a very huge, even like, big ups for me, because I'm like, okay, cool. I was able to put myself in an environment. I was able to do a shoot where it's like, I've never done this shoot before, right? Like being able to have that African mindset, African perspective, and bringing it into a South Asian inspired photo shoot. At the end of that, I looked at it, I'm like, whoa. Like, I'm not someone to toot my own horn, but I looked at these pictures and I was like, yeah, I think I was able to really do justice to, because at the end of the day, the clients loved the images. And then when I also looked at the image, I was very proud of myself for being able to, you know, embrace this challenge and not just running away and be like, oh, I don't do South Asian inspired photo shoots, so maybe go give it to someone else. But I was able to like put my feet down, do the research that I was able to do. And at the end of the day, I was able to create these stunning images that is going to go into my portfolio. The clients loved it. Everybody involved in the shoot loved everything that came out. And me personally, as the photographer and as the creative, I just loved everything that I was able to do with these images. So thank you very much, guys, for tuning in and joining me in the behind the scenes conversation of how we were able to come up with this shoot. I'll be doing my best to bring you guys more behind the scenes as much as possible. Hopefully, I'll be able to, get someone that can shoot more behind the scenes for me whilst I'm doing these shoots. Because sometimes it can be very hard shooting and then position your tripod to shoot the behind the scene. But I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do the best that I can to bring you guys more and more behind the scenes, and we're going to have a lot of conversations about my approach to setting shoot and stuff. So thank you for joining in. If you know you've not subscribed, I want you to just kindly subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get the channel to like 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. Like, comment, let me know what you think about these images, and let me know some of your approach on how you approach a shoot that you've never done before. Thank you. My name is Kwame, and I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.